three-judge Supreme Court bench is now hearing on the Idgah Maidan Ganesh Utsav controversy. It all is just about the celebration of Ganesh Chaturthi at the contested Idgah Maidan. Kapil Sibal represents the Waqf Board. Justice Indira Banerjee, Justice A.S. Oka and Justice M.M. Sundaresh are hearing the matter now. If something hasn't happened all these years, why is it being made into a big deal now? Those wanting Ganesh Chaturthi celebrations on site at the Idgah Maidan there in Chamarajpet are asking, it's only a 2 or 3 day festival, so what's the big deal? Anisha Mathur is on the front lines of this case. She's at the Supreme Court as the hearing is ongoing right now. Anisha, the centerpiece of this entire case now, is obviously, it's, we're not going to second guess what the honourable justices say, but is it going to be, in your view, centred around whether Ganesh celebrations have happened at the Idgah Maidan before?
Well, Shiv, if we look at what is happening before the court, there are two aspects of this entire controversy. One, who owns this land? And depending on who owns this land, does the state government have the right to say that religious festivals of other religions can also be held on this particular land? So at the moment, and this is a question specifically that just a few minutes ago, the court also asked Mr. Sibal to explain, is this only about Ganesh Chaturthi or is it about events happening thereafter as well? And Kapil Sibal, appearing for the Karnataka Waqf Board, has very clearly said that this is about events thereafter as well. It is not just about Ganesh Chaturthi. It is about the state government waking up 50 years after the Supreme Court verdict, 40 years after the injunction case, and decades after the Waqf Board notification, and suddenly saying that this is not Idgah land, this is Sarkari land. So the entire issue, there are a lot of religious and political nuances in this matter, Shiv, and you would know this very well, and you would know this better than I would, that the kind of political statements that are being made, the kind of statements that have been made by religious leaders, by political leaders in Karnataka is something that is being played out on a political and religious level. In the Supreme Court, the matter hinges on a very, very simple question. Does the state have any authority over that particular piece of land? The government is claiming that Waqf board notification may say something, the court order may have said something, but our revenue records say that this is Sarkari land and this land does not have a boundary. This is open ground, this is used as a playground, this is used for Republic Day and Independence Day celebrations. Therefore, being a multicultural country, being a multi-religious country, we are saying that we will allow Ganesh Chaturthi festival for 2 days, and we will also see what else we can allow there. The Idgah committee and the Waqf board, of course, are saying that you cannot do that. The government does not have any right on this land. This is Idgah. This is the Idgah grounds. This is a Waqf property that has been recognized as such in the Supreme Court records, in the Waqf board notification that nobody has bothered to challenge. And an interesting argument that was placed before the two-judge bench about an hour ago was that Mr. Sibal and Mr. Dave both said that this is being done because there is an election coming just next year. Now, as we speak, Shiv, the issue that is being debated before a three-judge bench is with regard to the ownership of the land. Mr. Sibal, who is arguing here, is saying that we have never raised an objection to children playing in this ground. We've never raised an objection to national festivals such as Republic Day and Independence Day being celebrated here. But he is also reading out survey reports and court orders to say that suddenly, after 200 years of being an Idgah, the government is now, and this is a very interesting argument, trying to change the religious character of this land. Remember, in the petition that has been filed, they have raised multiple issues. They've raised the question of ownership. They've also raised the question of places of worship act. They're saying that since the 1870s, the records say that this was a graveyard and an Idgah. Suddenly, why do you want to change the religious structure of this land? So a very interesting religious and political argument also being raised in this matter as we speak, Shiv. And we're getting updates from from the court. At the moment, Mr. Sibal is reading out the earlier court records and land records. They're looking at, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm pronouncing this right, the Chauhadi and Napjok reports, which is the land records, the Khata Khatani records. He's reading out from those land records and the Waqf records that this is very clearly saying that in the last several decades, and this has been recognized as Idgah property. Court has also, of course, questioned, are you objecting to a particular festival being celebrated? But Mr. Sibal is arguing that we are opposing any use of this, any change in use of this land, because apart from Ramzan and Bakrid, and I'm reading this out here, what we just got as an update from our colleague Sanjay Sharma, who's inside the courtroom, Sibal has said that apart from Ramzan and Bakrid, no other religious festival has ever been celebrated on these grounds for the last 200 years. It is, however, an open ground where children play in the evenings.